we have Voiceless going first. Now, the benefit of Voiceless with the Sarvis being able to negate a special summon, this can negate the X Ryzeal, it can negate the Sword Ryzeal, it can negate the Node Ryzeal. It can negate and banish the Ryzeal Detonator. And because it negates and banishes, you now can't return the card back with the Ryzeal Cross. And also, with the Detonator being negated and banished, you can't use Plugin to reborn it because it was not properly summoned. Will Sarvis farm Ryzeal as it does against Malice? Let's find out.
There can only be one winner, and you're looking at it. Let's go.
Pre-preparation, we're going to search our deck for a Ritual Spell and a Ritual Monster. We do have that Maxi ready. Now, I would say notoriously, Voiceless does quite well against Maxi. They can minimally special summon. After this special summon, they would not have to special summon again, but we're still going to Ash Blossom negate the Maxi, even though we could just search the low, normal, then pretty much pass. Let's tribute off the Skull Guardian. Skull Guardian on summon will now be activated to search our deck for our much-needed low. Low on summon's going to turn on the Skull Guardian to now have an Omni Negate. We now have the Trap Mate. Return the Skull Guardian back to summon the Sarvis from the deck here. As we further go into an Almirage. Almirage can protect any of our other cards from destruction. And what we can also do is with the Radiance, we could pop up to 2 cards on the field. We can negate anything with the Skull Guardian. And the Sarvis, we can negate a summon. That is triple disruption plus a Maxi that we're going to have to play through. This may be it for Ryzeal. Ash up the top of the deck. Now Ash can negate the Sarvis. And if Sarvis gets negated, then Low doesn't come back. Low is dependent on a light ritual being special summoned. So this top decked Ash, I think, has completely blown out Voiceless. Well, we have to actually Ash that now. This is perfect. Maxi, eat their Ash instead of Ashing the Sarvis. Beautiful. Well done. We're back in the duel. There you go. Sarvis is now safely activating. Perfect. And then we're going to set up the low. We're going to have the negate. Let's now trigger the effect of the low. Low's going to be setting up a barrier, so we're going to be untargetable. Sushi? What? Suship. Suship Shari Sushi from the freaking deck here. We have Lordy Load searching for our Drill Beam. Drill Beam is ready to target and banish anything that's not a light monster because, well, actually, it's a blessing. We didn't even use the barrier. So because we set up a blessing, what did the blessing do instead of the barrier? Barrier would have made our light monsters untargetable, but the blessing gives us an additional disruption. Now when Sarvis negates a summon, as we're doing right here against the X Ryzeal, because it doesn't activate the summon from the hand, it now can be re-summoned back on the field as it returns back to the hand. Negate and Banish Mate. No search for you. Aggregator is able to target the Skull Guardian. We're going to use the Sarvis to negate the targeting effect. We're going to Drill Beam target the Skull Guardian for a negate and banish. We're going to Skull Guardian negate the Drill Beam. Is that it for Ryzeal or what? The X Ryzeal getting negated and banished, thus not being able to search. And being denied a search on X Ryzeal is insane. This card usually is chain link blocked by the aggregator, so the search usually always goes through. If there was an Apollo USA on the field, you would still search your deck. We're gonna summon for the deck, another Sushi, Baguska in D, force everything else into defense. We have the Radiance, which is going to be shuffling back in the deck, searching for a Saphira. Could very easily out this Baguska with the Radiance itself. Just pop it if we want. There you go. It's been popped, as we are going to now be returning cards in the graveyard back to come forth and special summon. We do have enough for lethal damage. That is BM. Do not do that again. Lethal damage. Well done. All right. Lordy Load searching for our Prime Might Roar. Let's roar onto the field into a Maxi. We do have Ash Blossom 2. Negate. It's important to note that the Roar is only activatable to summon a monster. You can still activate it. It just doesn't summon it as long as you have a monster you're not able to. So with no monsters, come forth into our Suship. Let's special summon our X Ryzeal, searching for our Node Ryzeal, as we now further exceed this up into a Duo Drive. Naked Duo Drive, no protection here. We're just going to activate it in the wide open, searching for our Ryzeal Cross and our Ice Ryzeal. We have not committed to a normal summon yet. We have the Ryzeal Cross ready to negate any additional monster effects. And the Ryzeal Cross cannot be chain link blocked. It can not be chain 2 because it doesn't even activate on the freaking chain. It can negate in the damage step. We have Ryzeal Detonator on summon, is going to equip from engrave any monster we want. as we detach off of one of our Xyzes to summon our Star Ryzeal to now set up our plugin. Let's now summon the Star Liege. We're now going to special summon the Node Ryzeal, get rid of the Sue ship, reborn. What other rank 4 are we doing? None. So with the plugin, if we play the trap, what we could do is, even in response to a monster effect activating, we can equip from the deck the trap, then detach the trap on the resolution of their effect to then banish the trap to Xyz into a Baguska. Baguska on their turn is a viable play. So we do have that nonsensical place. We have a negate, a Baguska, we have a pop, and also the plugin is going to be giving us an additional material onto the detonator for another pop. So yeah, at least 5 disruptions here. One of them being a floodgate. Harpy freaking feather dust. So we're gonna call it the grave, preemptively finger the ash. Okay, ash fingered. Roar. Oh, roar is another disruption. Wait, is it a disruption if you have a Sue ship? Yes, it's 2,000 attack. Roar. When your opponent normal summons a monster, you can banish this to then target a normal in your graveyard and then banish one monster in the field with less attack. So 6 disruptions. Wiping up the... Did not chain the plugin. Did we have nothing even rebornable? We had no Ryzeals in the grave to even chain the plugin. But, I mean, they don't pretty much... Nothing from there. What the... Gunkin Dreadnought? What the heck does this do? Doesn't matter because we are just attacking for lethal. Lethal damage. The detonator could have equipped the normal Sue ship instead of the Ryzeal. I believe it's just a monster. It doesn't have to be an effect monster you equip onto it. 1 and 1. Wait, whoa, Agrippa. Game 3, you got Ryzeal in your deck now? What the heck is this? I didn't see this in game 1 or 2. This is a 40-card deck. What is in your extra deck? We have 2 Duo 2 detonator. What the... All right, cook it, show me. What do we call your deck? Is it Voiceless with Ryzeal, or is it Ryzeal with Voiceless? Ice Ryzeal summoned from the deck, a Sword Ryzeal searching for our ice. We have Infernal Flame Banshee here, detached to search our deck. We dumped? We didn't search? Take a Pyro and add it to your hand or send it to the grave? What? We dumped it. All right, Node Ryzeal into the... It was a misclick? He said he misclicked. He's in the chat right now. Whoops. Instead of adding, we sent it. Which the misclick, I think, could be as simple as right-clicking. When it says, would you like to add it or send it to the grave? Right-click would send it to the grave. We have the Ryzeal Cross, returning 2 cards of grave back on the deck to draw a card. We are now setting up with the Blessing. Let Saphira activate Ritual Summon, tributing off the low to come forth and summon our Skull Guardian. Marco, you're screwed, aren't you? This is going to be a big deal. We now have the protection of the Ryzeal Cross through any of our plays. We also have the Plasma freaking Hole. Let's low it up into the Blessing, triggering to summon a Sarvis from the hand. Blessing plus Sarvis is a double special summon negate. Now, the activation to special summon for the deck with Ice Ryzeal, that cannot be negated, but negate the Xyz summon of whatever you summon afterward. Let's search the Radiance, and because of Barrier, what you could normally do in Ryzeal is very easily send an aggregator to the graveyard. It's all at the top up here. You send aggregator to summon the X Ryzeal to negate another form of disruption, but we can't target the Sarvis because of the barrier. We also can't target the Skull Guardian. We can target the Ryzeal Cross, and then the Sarvis could just negate the X Ryzeal summon itself. Now they still send from the extra deck to the grave, but you now don't get to additionally summon. We are, search that is. We have the 7 attack and search for the X Ryzeal. I don't know how much the Gunkin Sue ship's gonna help us here, but let's see. Plasma Hole on the activation of the load. Wipe it away. You can only activate 1 load per turn. Thus, the other one's now dead to be returned back to the deck with the 7 Tachyon, possibly. Let's do it. I think our main goal here is going to be Copium. Wait, you don't play Exciton Knight? Oh, you're our Sue ship. I guess you didn't have room. I was gonna say, Exciton wipe up the field is maybe your main play. Ice. Ryzeal, summon for the deck, our Node. Let's Radiance, pop up 2 monsters on the field. Special summon the X Ryzeal, send the aggregator. As I was saying, X Ryzeal summon is negated. We're going to negate the cross and then pass. Whoa. Star Ryzeal, unfortunately, is not a goblin card. Otherwise, the goblins they are able to detach off of the opponent's Xyz. That'd be insane if Star could also do that. Let's return back the deck, the plug-in and the prayers to summon from our hand, our Sarvis, 11,000 damage, and I can now say Ryzeal wins, right? Ryzeal won it. Ryzeal Sushi, Ryzeal Voiceless. Let's hop on another one. This is probably pure Ryzeal against Satellar Knight Ryzeal. Hajime. Maxi in the standby phase. We, of course, are going to negate with the Ash. Because we maxied in the standby, we are playing around a card like Triple Tactics Talent. We're also negating around inherent special summons. If they normal summon a Sword Ryzeal, that is a sign of desperation because they ideally want to special summon it. X Ryzeal is going to send a Duo Drive searching for the node. Let's come forth and make our Duo Drive. Duo Drive is going to be attaching the Engrave as we have no forms of disruption to stop this search, grabbing the Cross and also our Ice Ryzeal. We already used up our normal summon on the sword. With the Ryzeal Cross, return 2 Ryzeals, draw a 1 card. We now have Pot of D, banishing 10 cards off the top of the deck. We did not lose all of our X Ryzeals. Ideally, that's good. We have the Dugars to draw 2, then discard. Draw into 2 hand traps. 2 forms of... We have Solemn Strike in the main deck, plus Book of Moon. Now, there were many TCG decks, main deck and Solemn Strike. It is a great card. Ryzeal Detonator is here on Summon Activate to attach the Full Loss from Engrave. What are our forms of disruption here? We have Pop, 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 plus a Negate, and a Book of Moon Mate, plus we can negate a summon or a monster effect and destroy. We also have Ash Blossom to gain interaction with the deck. 7 disruption. Let's go. Crossout designates can, what can we even negate with that? X Ryzeal is going to send Aggregator. Aggregator is going to Chainlink block the X Ryzeal, but you can't Chainlink block the Cross. We are negating the Detonator with the Aggregator. No, we're going to just negate it with the Cross instead. Because we could have, if we wanted to, after being negated, we could detach a pop a card, then Book of Moon our own monster, but the Aggregator being that disruptive, it's better to just negate with the Cross. I do agree with that. 7 Tachyon searching for a Lyran. Return the Plasma Hole back, as we now a nuke, summon to send from the deck to the grave. Lyran's gonna chain, trigger, summon alongside the Anuk here. We're not activating the Detonator. You got 3 pops, mate. What are you waiting for? Huh? Deltros is here. Deltros, I believe, triggers if sent to the grave, so if you want to detonate it, is that going to be a problem? Now, we do have Solemn Strike to just negate its summon, and would it trigger? Let's find that out. If this card is sent from the field to the graveyard, you could special summon a Satellar Knight from your hand or deck. It looks like it's on the field right now, but it actually isn't. It's not there. It's in purgatory. It's in the in-between world. It's in the upside-down world, as we just negate the summon, so it was never on the field. No trigger, no summon for the deck. That's a scoop. Oh my Jesus. We didn't care to Detonator pop because we wanted them to exceed. We wanted to Solemn Strike blow them out. And Solemn Strike, I think, can be perceived as a card that's dead when going second. I don't think I could agree with that. If you set Solemn Strike going second, they could have a Bear in the floor, whatever they have on the field. You can just negate and destroy that card in the field. It still has some decent applications when going second. Obviously not ideal and is much better going first. Let's go. 7th Tachyon. X Ryzeal. So it would be good for you to know that against something like Makonko. X Ryzeal is going to be searching for the node. Let's special summon the sword. We have not committed to a normal summon yet. And as we grab our Ice Ryzeal summon for the deck, our Star Ryzeal. Star Ryzeal is going to be setting up the Ryzeal Cross. If we held onto Ash Blossom for the Duo Drive, well, we're not going to be able to negate. But instead of summoning a Ryzeal Xyz, we go into the Satellar Knight Deltaros to pop itself, to trigger, to summon from the deck to get negated with no form of way to protect our Deltaros play. We do have Node Ryzeal as a follow-up way. We have Constellar Tellarknights, Reborn the Deltaros back. I think that we just didn't care if it were to get negated because we could re-trigger the effect multiple times. It's not a hard once per turn, so we didn't mind the Ash. We eat that Ash proudly as the node sends the Deltaros to Reborn to trigger the effect again. So I would say it was a bait effect. We baited them. We on purpose did not want to negate. Let's now, with the real effect that we want to protect. With our real effect, we're going to attach on summon the X Ryzeal, detach to search our deck for another Ice Ryzeal. This Ice Ryzeal can send Deltaros again. Deltaros triggering again. You have Node and Ice Ryzeal being able to send the Deltaros to continually trigger its effect. Lorisaur further going into the Ryzeal Detonator. Detonator on summon is going to be attached in the aggregator. You can't attach the Deltaros because it has to be sent from the field to the graveyard. Let's come forth and go into the Caduceus. Caduceus is going to be copying the effect of a banished card. Vega is to special summon a monster from the hand. We have Lyran special summoning. Altaran is also triggering to reborn itself back as we add a spell card from our deck to our hand. Come to us, the quick play, it's like an MST, right? Destroy spell and trap cards on the field equals the number of other Talonite cards you control, and it's a non-target pop. Interesting. So with the Detonator, we could pop 3 cards in the field. We could pop a 4th card with the Ryzeal plugin. We can negate with the Ryzeal Cross. With the Ptolemy, this I think could go into a form of disruption, the rank 5 that could bounce cards back. I'm not going to count the Genesis as a disruption at the moment, but it popping the Ryzeal Cross could be quite good. And I think we have the Altaran and Graveyard also being a form of disruption, so I would say we have 7. Book of Eclipse is ashable. And we are now flipping the entire field face down. We're going to use the Detonator to target itself so the plugin can reborn it back on the field. Oh my Jesus. Non-target flip, pop ourselves. Detonator is not attached with an Eclipse Twin, so clearly we made a mistake there by not making that play, right? Special summon a Sword Ryzeal as plugin is going to reborn the Detonator back. Chain the Max C. We're going to draw for that single special summon. Now, Detonator does not have to be Xyz summoned to trigger its effect to attach a monster from engrave. Thus, we're going to have 2 materials on the cross. With our 2 materials, we are all going to use the cross also. What's really interesting about the cross is you can initiate a monster effect while they have no Xyz materials onto the Ryzeals, thinking that you're safe, right? You won't be negated. But if they on the higher chain link to your monster effect have a way to gain an Xyz material, as we did here, we can now in the resolution negate your effect. Detonator activate to give us that 1 pop left. Negated the sword from searching from our deck. We now have Typhon. Typhon turns off the Detonator. Detonator cannot chain to the Typhon. Bouncing it back, Aggregator is going to be negating the Typhon, but the lingering effect of Typhon is you cannot summon for the rest of the turn. Can't stop that. Draw 2, don't mind if I do. We're also going to Genesis, wipe away 3 back row cards. We had 1, 2, 3 Talonite cards, including your spell and trap card Talonites. Non-target, wipe it all away. That is insane. Well, that's pretty much a blowout. We're now going to cross, return 2 cards in graveyard to the bottom of the deck, draw 1. Let's Ptolemy, detach materials to rank this up into a Pallades. With Pallades, we could bounce a card back. Let's just scoop it up. Yeah, the Genesis completely blew him out, and it was searched for, but really, I don't know. I guess we can't. The better idea was just to scoop, right? We knew that this was in the back row. Begin. Max C in the standby. Ash, negate, not today. May again, playing around triple tactics talent and also inherent special summons. We do have our 7th Tachyon, as we're now going to be negated on the 7th Tachyon, but we now have triple tactics talent for that desperate draw 2 play. Come to me. We have the X Ryzeal, which can send Aggregator to already negate a face-up card in the field, plus chain link block to ensure we get to search. We get to rip into an Ice Ryzeal, imperm negate. This is where, if we want to get crazy, why not? We Book of Moon or Book of Eclipse, dodge the impermanence. As we triple Xyz into our Ryzeal Detonator, attach the Aggregator from Engrave. A lot of people are asking, what do I do if I don't have twins? You could just send Aggregator instead, or a Ryzeal extra deck monster. Now, the Aggregator will have the additional benefit on the Detonator to rarely make use of it to pop a card, then negate another one. It's going to be quite rare where that actually works out well. So if we want to look at the total disruptions, we have 4 pops, plus a negate with Aggregator. That's likely not going to happen. We have a negate with the Ryzeal Cross. We have a Book of Moon, and we have an infinite impermanence. 8 disruptions against a single X Ryzeal. Oh boy. I mean, technically we could special and then normal. What? We normaled it and then went right into Typhon. Okay, we can't summon for the rest of the turn. And Typhon is going to get negated by the cross. Okay. To battle, we're going to protect by battle destruction by detaching off of the detonator. We didn't even care to Book of Moon nor in permanence. I think the cross should have probably detached off the duo drive instead, though. Wow, we're just fully getting rid of this detonator. We're going to replace you. Now, there is a downside to the Ryzeal cross. You cannot exceed summon monsters with the same name as cards you control, meaning you can't summon a second detonator. You got to get rid of this one with the Ice Ryzeal, or I guess you could Book of Moon it if you want. You could also use the node to send it to the graveyard. Return 2 Ryzeal cards engraved to draw a card. X Ryzeal is going to send the aggregator, and just like that, Typhon is now negated from turning off something like a detonator, which on special summon would want to attach a monster from engrave. Let's grab the Sword Ryzeal. Search in our deck for the Ice. As we further go into the Light Dragon Ignister, let's get poppin'. Non-target, pop away the Typhon. 8,100 damage on the field. 2-1 victory. Lorisor, I very much appreciate you for bringing Satellar Knight Ryzeal into the event. That was definitely spicy. I hope to see more from you. Let's get to it.